team who's done the Sonic Pyramid. So I guess the basic idea behind it is that you have a 3-faced MIDI controller, and we're routing it through an Arduino into Max and then into Reason. And we want to have the different players be able to do 3 different instruments all at the same time, so you can kind of like cooperatively play together, and you each have like kind of a different role in this like jam session. One of the instruments is a drum machine we have over here. You can kind of just like trigger a couple drum samples. We have a synth on one of the other ones, and I think the other one's another synth, not necessarily like lead and rhythm, but they kind of complement each other.
So the thing consists of 15 buttons, and then 6 force sensing resistors and 6 capacitive sensors.
So each side is pretty much the same. You have the 2 different soft pots with FSRs underneath them, and then you have 5 buttons.
The FSRs we had were smaller than the soft pots, so we created a little like hard interface, 3D printed, that allows basically anywhere you push on the soft pot, you get kind of sort of even data from the FSR. So even though the FSR isn't over here, you can still get data from it.
We have the ability to have like somebody pushing in and like changing those at the same time, so you can have this like 2-way motion giving you like 2 different parameters all at the same time.
I think the good thing about having the hole in the middle is that you can have like a different parameter if you just touch the FSR without having data being read from the soft pot.
The data is divided up so that you get essentially 8 roughly equal regions around the face of the soft pot, which allows you to play a full major scale or minor scale. If you look closely at the discs, you can see there are kind of circles around them, which give you a little tactile sense of when you're in the middle of a note. Because if you were here, you would kind of be wobbling between 2 notes, but if you're here, you're solidly on. On the drum machine side, the buttons are just triggering samples, and then this FSR is controlling reverb wet dry on the drums, so you can do some kind of stutter effects and things like that. This button here controls portamento time for this synth, so you can kind of glide in between some notes and then not.
We start off with some acrylic for the face of it, and we use like various kind of brackets and stuff to give it support. And then we realized that our design initially was sitting too low, so then we constructed a low lift in it.
3/4 inch wood around the sides.
It's probably easier to see the construction from the inside.
And then we have this magnet here with 2 metal pieces so that it like stays shut.
So we put together a patch that takes the data from the buttons and gives a value between 0 and 31 for each face, so that any particular combination of buttons would send a unique number that you could use to activate some parameter or patch. We just didn't have the time to implement that in a useful way. Here's how we're handling the soft pots and the FSRs. We're basically dividing up the range of the soft pot into little discrete sections, cycling through the notes there.
The way we have it laid out right now is drum samples in the Kong module, and those are all triggered by the buttons, and we have effects on that Kong module that are triggered by the various FSRs on the same side. We have various synths that have aftertouch control.
So that's just controlling a filter, low pass filter. Yeah, that one has some aftertouch. It's like slower and more evolving.
And then here we have a more lead synth.
If you want to do something sort of arpeggiated, you can like hold your finger in the middle for the bottom note and then do stuff like that.
This instrument can be played by like 3 people, or it can also just be played by one person. You got to keep track of a couple things at once.
Sure.